Good afternoon, Pokesports, and welcome to another how to use blank in VGC video. Today we're going to be talking about Metagross, the iron leg Pokemon, which firmly pins its prey using its 4 claws and large body, then the teeth in its mouth on its stomach chew its prey to bits. That's a Pokedex entry. Metagross has the ability Clear Body, and that is it. It just has that ability. It has the clearest body in all the land, and hey, don't ever use light metal. I'm not even including it because it's bad. Metagross is a steel and psychic type, which means it has resistances to normal, grass, ice, flying, psychic, rock, dragon, steel, and fairy, with immunities to poison, weaknesses to fire, ground, ghost, and dark. Now, its stats are pretty well rounded with a base 80 HP, 135 attack, 130 defense, 95 special attack, which we're not going to be using at all, 90 special defense, and 70 speed. Now, it is not the fastest Pokemon in the world, but it is one of the tankiest in the metagame and one of the hardest hitting, with a very, very strong type combination. Now, before we were talking about the weaknesses being the fire, ground, ghost, and dark, that's actually very relevant because a lot of those weaknesses have spread moves that you're able to proc a weakness policy with, which is super interesting, super strong. Now, weakness policy Metagross has been a set that me and Mike have like been theory crafting for a long time, ever since we went all the way back to our Pokesports Plus episode with CybertronVGC. Shameless plug, go check it out. Ever since that episode, we've been theory crafting Metagross with weakness policy and the introduction to Dynamax being like a very strong Pokemon, and it's just something that we've had our eyes on. The fact that it gets Clear Body even allows you to run Bulldoze to proc that weakness policy and not even get a speed drop, which is what most people are doing with this weakness policy set. Speaking of weakness policy set, we might as well go over it. We're running 252 HP, 148 attack, 4 defense, 4 special defense, and 100 speed. Now, the reason we're running 100 speed and max HP is because we are trying to optimize this set in a way that we still outspeed a neutral Togekiss, we still outspeed most Tyranitar spreads. We don't outspeed, like, you know, max speed like Turbo T-Tar with Focus Sash, but that's not very common, so I didn't really think we had to go all the way with that speed there. And we even outspeed a neutral Heatran, so like a max HP, max special attack Heatran, we outspeed, which is really nice as well, because we're able to just go for the Stomping Tantrum and KO it there. But the rest of the set, we are running Adamant Nature with Stomping Tantrum, Iron Head, Zen Headbutt, and Protect. This is a Dynamax set, which means the Stomping Tantrum will turn into Max Quake, Iron Head will turn into Max Steel Spike, and then Zen Headbutt will turn into Max Mindstorm. Pretty much straightforward. You get your defense boosts with the Quake and the Steel Spike. You also get your Max Mindstorm set and your Psychic Stab with the Zen Headbutt, which is great as well. Metagross doesn't really have a lot of options when it comes to physical psychic moves, so we do have to deal with the very inaccurate Zen Headbutt. But yeah, you proc a weakness policy with, say, like a Bulldoze from a Dusclops. A lot of people have been doing Bulldoze, Incineroar, Bulldoze, Salamence, like Bulldoze Arcanine. Like, the list keeps going on. A lot of Pokemon do get Bulldoze that you wouldn't expect to, so you could definitely cheese a couple people with Metagross and Bulldoze weakness policy. Along with that, you also have the option for Brutal Swing because you are weak to Dark as well. You also have the option, say, a Shadow Sneak from a Dusclops, or like a Shadow Sneak from any Pokemon that gets Shadow Sneak. Really, you could even do a Gardevoir for all I care. That can easily help you proc weakness policy. Like, the reason why Metagross is so strong with weakness policy, because the Pokemon that have these priority moves and have these spread moves that don't do a lot of damage but still can break a weakness policy is super big. And, you know, just Dynamax in general is very terrifying. The max HP there in the set is just so we have a lot of health when we Dynamax, and the 148 attack is just to optimize it while still giving us a little bit in defense and special defense. Moving on to the next set, we have the Assault Vested Metagross set. Now, you'll notice with this set, I decided to go for a little bit faster, a little bit weaker, and a lot more special defense. Now, this set is meant to deal with those special attackers that do give you a little bit of problems. Things like a Landorus Incarnate, for example, or just like any fire type Pokemon. You're able to deal with a lot more things like Tapu Koko, which would have given you a lot of trouble before with Rising Voltage. Now you're able to resist it even more with the Assault Vest. And also, you have to consider, like, Metagross's defense is already so high. It's base 130, right? You're only really lacking defense is the special defense because it's only base 90. So by giving yourself the Assault Vest, you're even boosting that further. So you're going to be living even more special hits. You're going to be a very big tank while dealing so much damage, and people are not going to expect it. They're definitely not going to expect like a Metagross to take that many special hits along with the physical hits. And if you're Dynamaxing this, even more so. The fact that we're running Assault Vest also gives us the option of not running Protect, which means we can stick things like Ice Punch. You're able to go for the max Hailstorm onto Landorus just to KO the Landorus, which is really amazing. So yeah, that's a pretty well-rounded set. Very, very strong. It does does allow us to outspeed pretty much the same things as before. So like the neutral Togekiss, most Tyranitar spreads, and neutral Heatran, kind of the big ones that we really have to worry about with Metagross. But the thing is, when you Dynamax Metagross and when you have this much bulk in it, you don't really even care about outspeeding. You kind of just take a hit and you hit harder with your moves. Moving on, we have a Lumberry Metagross set. Now I'm running Lum because there is a lot, and I mean a lot of physical Pokemon in the metagame. So I'm predicting Will-O-Wisp will come back as a staple on certain Pokemon like say Rotoms. It used to be a staple on Rotoms, but ever since Nasty Plot Rotom was introduced in the previous series, you really haven't been seeing Will-O-Wisp at all. Things like Will-O-Wisp on Sableye, Will-O-Wisp on even Incineroar, I can see it, or like Dusclops. I think it'll be coming back because the meta is so physical. Think of all the popular Pokemon in Series 7 right now. You have Metagross, Landorus, Dragapult even, Kartana. The list keeps going on and on. Dracovish, Tyranitar, Rillaboom, Bulu. Like, a lot of physical threats in the current metagame. People are going to be running Will-O-Wisp, so you have to be prepared. The Lumberry set is there to help you prepare for it. We're running the exact same moves. It's kind of a different EV spread. This EV spread is not meant to outspeed so much, but it still outspeeds things like a negative speed Mimikyu, which is pretty common for Trick Room. Things like a neutral Heatran still, neutral Tapu Bulu even, which is really nice because I don't think Bulus like to run speed. I know there is like a Choice Scarf Bulu set, but if it's in Terrain Wars, then you kind of want to be the slowest possible, and Bulu has that benefit of being the slowest Tapu, and pretty much the slowest terrain that isn't a Pincurchin, which is nice as well. We're running the Iron Head, Stomping Tantrum, Zen Headbutt. That's kind of like your best core there in terms of your moves, with the Protect as well. And moving on to the last set. This set is the No Holds Barred set. The reason why is because you're running Dynamax, you're running Max Speed, you're running Life Orb, and you're going for KOs. We're not running Iron Head anymore, we're running Steel Roller. We're going for the base 140 Steel type stab physical move with the Max Steel Spike to boot, which is disgusting. With Stomping Tantrum, just so we could have Max Quake as well, and Zen Headbutt as well. We're running Jolly Max Speed just because we want to make sure we outspeed as much as we possibly can. By going Jolly Max Speed, you actually outspeed some pretty irrelevant Pokemon. You outspeed Max Speed Adamant Gyarados. You outspeed Modest Max Speed Heatran. You outspeed Modest Max Speed Togekiss even. And it even speed ties with Jolly Bisharp, which means you outspeed Adamant Bisharps, which is the most common set when it comes to Bisharps, which is huge because Bisharp is probably Metagross's worst enemy. You can't really touch Bisharp, especially if it's hitting you first. You have to be a little bit terrified. But yeah, the ability to outspeed, Adamant Bisharp is really nice, and even like make it come down to a speed tie on like Jolly Bisharps is nice as well because you do share the exact same speed tier. But yeah, this set is meant to just take as many lives as possible. You have pretty much max attack, but you have like a little bit in defenses just to optimize your attack and make sure you hit that spike there with 4 defense, 4 special defense, and the rest dumped in HP. So this is your set if you want to just come in, Dynamax, take lives. That is it. You don't want any setup with weakness policy. You don't want to live anything with Assault Vest. You just want to come in, take something out, and then go down. Metagross can do that for you. And even with like Tailwind support from a Whimsicott or like from a Tornadus is really nice here as well. Or if you want to be very adventurous, go for your Talonflame. Yeah, giving yourself that priority Tailwind can just make you pretty much the fastest thing on the field, which is terrifying. You have other options for your moves. You have moves like Iron Head if you don't feel like taking the risk with Steel Roller. You have moves like Meteor Mash even. You even have Ice Punch if you want to stick an Ice Punch in here. It all depends on what your team needs. And Metagross has enough coverage to pretty much deal with every scenario. And there you have it, folks. That is your how to use Metagross at VGC 2020 video. We do have a couple of Metagross teams that are going to be appearing here on the channel, so I hope you guys are excited for that as well. We're going to start off the Crown Tundra Series 7 with the Galarian Articuno team, so keep your eyes peeled out for that tomorrow. Make sure to grab the rental code for that when it comes out as well. I'm super excited to use it because I think it's a lot of fun, but hey, maybe you guys are excited for other birds, but guess what? We have those coming too, so hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. Anyway, I'm Kevin, this is Pokesports. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Hit the like button. I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Crown Tundra. Bye-bye.